Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Can you feel me? Welcome to Keanucast. It's the podcast that's often irreverent, occasionally heartfelt, but always untoward. I'm Keanu Thompson. I'm your host, and I'm going to bring in my co-host, Michaelene. And we have guests today. Guests. They're from your other favorite podcast. It's called Mornin. You know them. You love them. Bill and Joe. Let's get Michaelene in here real fast. Hi, Mumsy.
Hi, Keanu. How are you today?
Take two because we weren't recording. Hopefully now we are.
Two.
How are you feeling, Michaelene?
I feel great. I've got a little sore throat or something that's going on, but it's minor.
Oh, for Christ's sake, Michaelene, your cell phone. We have guests today.
I turned it off. Sorry.
It's the nerves because these two they're just so wonderful and beautiful.
They are.
It's okay. Who could be calling you at this hour?
It's some
one of your
idiots.
One of your
power wars. What?
Some idiot.
Some idiot. No, it's spam or telemarketer. Nobody real ever calls me. It's just a computer. They call me in my class also, and I don't know. I can't for some reason I cannot silence that on my phone when I'm playing my music. So the music stops while it's ringing.
While you're teaching aerobics.
Yeah, and it's not only aerobics, Keanu.
Well, this is not one of your highfalutin aerobics classes with all of those women.
Shush.
This is Keanucast, and we have guests.
Shush. I know. I'm so excited.
Remember, everyone, to subscribe and follow wherever you find your podcasts. And if you would like to watch us, you can watch us on YouTube. That's Keanucast. And give us a nice review, everyone, and hit 5 stars, please. But without further ado, we have guests.
Yeah.
Are you excited, Michaelene?
I'm excited, yes.
You know them and you love them. We listen all the time. We've known them for years. We've had the pleasure of having Bill on our show, but I don't think, Mike, we've had Joanne yet. So without further ado, the hosts of Mornin, Joanne Goodhart and William Schulz.
Hello, you guys.
Hi, friends. How are you feeling this morning?
Great. Hey, Michaelene, it's so nice to meet you. We haven't officially met, so this is a delight.
Yes, thank you. It's lovely meeting you also. You're very gorgeous.
Isn't she
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you are as well, Bill.
By the way, their accents are completely the same, which I guess makes sense. Yeah, mom and daughter. But isn't that weird? Like, if you close your eyes, it's hard to tell them apart a little bit.
It is kind of.
Yeah.
I did notice that. Now that we speak exactly alike,
it's kind of cute.
We're becoming each other. It's quite odd.
No, you're becoming me.
I guess so. No, you're becoming me.
That's the natural progression of things.
I do things like my mother, where I mill around and whisper to myself now, which I hate. I absolutely hate it.
Don't tell people our secrets.
I've complained to Joe that I am already doing the whole every time I get out of a chair going, ugh. Like, I don't know where that came from.
Yeah.
It's like around 38, 39, 40. All of a sudden, it's just, ugh, every time you get up.
Yeah. For me, it's when I bend over to pick something up. I have to do like the exhale of breath. So I'm almost there.
Okay, good. That makes me feel a little better.
I sneeze like my mother now. I used to have a cute sneeze. Now mine is just it's a real scream. Eugene goes, I don't know what that is. What is that? It's like, it's just, I just let out a yelp. It's horrible. And it's because I'm becoming her. So I guess we all become our parents at one point. But I just was listening to the wonderful Mornin, as it is an audio as well podcast. How are you guys enjoying the new version of it?
I think it's great. I sound great. We're working on Bill's speech and diction. But what's really nice is being able to finally, I can share with people and be like, oh, you're just driving around in your car. You can listen to us.
That's
being
right.
That we have an audio version now. Yeah. I mean, clearly we want to see my face, but for those who are tied up and can't, it's really easy to share and to tell people and to like just engage with them that way through the audio version.
It's true. So now, right, as much as they want to see Michaelene's face every time they want to see her playing a tambourine, they can just listen to her playing a tambourine.
My God.
Right, Michaelene?
Right, Keanu.
Joanne,
whatever
tell
you
me
think.
about your now a Broadway actress, basically.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, I mean, okay, technically off Broadway.
Off Broadway.
This
Same
theater
thing.
company has a Broadway theater and an off Broadway theater. The show I'm doing is at the off Broadway theater.
Same thing.
But it is a new play called Walden by playwright Amy Berryman. Keanu, she's about our age. She's young and
course.
fresh and has great ideas. And it's a play I've been obsessed with for a while now. I auditioned for a regional theater production of it years ago. And when it came to off Broadway, I was like, I need to be a part of this.
You manifested it. You're like,
Honestly,
I know this. It's mine.
I mean, listen, Eugene really believes in all of that. So he would
He
say I
does.
did. But so yeah, they were only having auditions for the understudy part because the play is about two twin women. And so they got two,
Real twins.
well, no, actually, it's it's funny. Two people look alike. Their whole lives, they thought they were fraternal, so they didn't need to necessarily look exactly the same. But with theater these days, you need celebrities. You need people with huge followings who are they have a fan
Right.
base. They're gonna sell tons of tickets. So
Like Ariana Madix.
100%,
Yes.
except not her, but like her.
No.
But yeah, so I auditioned and I got the role, and I will actually be going on for 5 performances. One of the actresses has another commitment, so I will be filling in, which is very exciting.
That's
coming up
excellent.
this week, right?
Have you guys
In like 8 or 9 days.
have you guys ever seen Shameless?
Yes.
Of course. Yes.
The lead actress in Shameless is Joanne's twin sister, and when
Emmy
you think
Ross?
about it,
Wow,
when you think
that's
about it,
good.
they do look alike.
They do.
Yeah.
Shameless is a great show.
Oh, we
really.
love Shameless.
That's exciting for you.
Do
Really
we
watch
think-
exciting.
Do we think it makes Chicago look good?
No.
No, yeah, that's my issue right there.
Yeah, that's okay though. No, I love it, and I think it makes Chicago.
Nah,
look
it's
like
great.
I think it makes Chicago look like what it is.
It
Bill, do
explains-
you
it
identify
explains
with
what-
William H. Macy in that program?
No, because he can reproduce.
Yeah, you don't have 5 kids, do you, or however many
Good
there were?
answer. William is from Bill is from Chicago. Huge Chicago White Sox fan.
I met most of the immediate family that helped make the White Sox as explosive as possible at the wedding. That was
That's
really cool.
true.
Yeah, that was
That's
awesome.
very true. So yes, my Joanne, if you don't know, my mother's father, my grandpa invented the exploding scoreboard. I was there with you guys when we spoke with Mr. Vec.
Yes.
So
That
this
was
is
awesome.
That's my mom's dad. And Bill was very excited to talk to all of the fireworks people at the wedding, but Bill was also excited to dance. Joanne?
Oh boy. I always
I've
in my
heard.
mind's eye I'm James Brown.
I've
In
heard
here
things.
I'm James Brown. But then when I see the video proof, I'm like,
He did this slide move. He was doing it the whole time, but some people he could just slip under, and then he would just dive up and like be ready to go. And then our friend Missy was like, "Wait, well," and she like hopped over, and then he was like, "That was great, I made it." His slide move was like just the most incredible thing I've ever seen, and I don't know if you remember it.
The slide kind of went to a bit of a crawl under.
yeah, that's a go-to. I'm like, oh no, keep your legs open, and then
No,
I like, crawl through like a baby. I only got like 4 moves, so yeah, of course I remember it. But yeah, there's
It
a
It
lot
was
of
great.
that.
Oh my
Did-
gosh. It
did
was
you
so
have-
much fun.
He danced with my mother the entire evening.
Not the entire night.
I
You were-
believe that.
You
Yeah.
were my number 1 dance partner, but like again, like in my head, I'm like, I'm killing it.
You're
And then, like,
fantastic.
unfortunately, people send me video, and I look like I'm on methamphetamines.
No,
And it's like, just like, and it's like very.
nobody
Well-
can ever look at themselves. It's just how it is.
I think I'm a good dancer too. I am not. It's fast.
You're pretty good. You're
It's
like,
jerky.
there was a grace involved with both the Thompson ladies that I
Oh,
used to
thank
have.
Well,
Thank you.
Keanu, there's the saying, right? Like dance like nobody's watching. Bill Bill should dance like people are watching.
He should dance like his boss or his, family is watching.
Yeah.
Or God.
Oh my gosh. He kept.
I think you're great.
He kept trying to twirl me, and I don't like to be twirled, so I go, "I'm twirling you," and he goes, "I'm the man here."
Yeah. She kept trying to lead. I was like, "What are you doing here? This is not."
Bill, I thought you were a
Fine.
feminist. Come on.
Exactly.
I wouldn't let him, but every time I twirled him back, and then I did end up on my butt at one point, which was really fun. And he just kind of yanked me back up, and we continued to dance.
It's
Every
like, so
time I was at the dance floor.
essentially you were the victim of domestic violence at your daughter's wedding. That's what it comes down to. Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't mind one bit.
I can never go back to that state. I'm sure I'm still wanted. Wow. Wow.
What I love about Bill is he always lives his best life. I've never seen what best life for you.
There you go. Good correction.
That's the most Joanne thing I've ever heard you
I
say.
know. I feel like Joanne. I was listening to your program. I never
Taking the
realized
light out
it,
here.
but it's the anti-morning show. If you guys if you listen to us and you like us, you're also going to like their senses of humor as well. And the concept is you guys do have an odd hostility towards each other, but you wouldn't have been working together for so long if you actually hated each other. Or Joanne, debunk that. Do you actually loathe this man?
Look at her face.
I
She's
just
laughing like I do.
actually love the number of people who will genuinely ask us or ask me if I hate Bill. It's what I just love is, and Keanu, sometimes as young women, we have to play nice. We have to make sure our stank face doesn't come out because we can be judged for it.
Smile through the pain.
But what's so nice about our program is I don't have to filter any of that. I can just look at Bill and show my disgust and voice my disgust. And it's so liberating. So really, that's why our show has lasted for so long, is Bill makes me feel liberated.
He makes you feel liberated from having to hide all of the feelings you have.
Exactly.
And you know what? And that's a good thing. It's like we're doing it. Bill, you get what we think of most men. So really, it's very nice of you to take that as well. You are a feminist. Yeah.
I actually think all three of you share this in common, wherein that none of you have a very good poker face. I feel like I know exactly what you're thinking when I see it on your face. And when it has anything to do with me, it's usually not that good. It's not usually a happy or good for you face. It's usually the opposite of that. But yeah,
That's
true.
I think it's a plus that you can see what we're thinking on our faces.
I agree. It makes things easier.
There's no hiding it. Michaelene, sometimes you'll be perfectly happy, but she looks at me like this.
It's just my resting face.
It's a pursed lips, squinted eyes.
I've always done that. Even when I was younger. That's just my face. I don't smoke, but I have smoker's lines from pursing my lips like that.
So imagine what I will look like one day. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I'm 31. I'm about to be 32 next month. I'm freezing my face here. Botox, and this is where I will stay.
Do not touch that face.
Let her do it once, Bill.
A little Botox. It's the way of the world. It's the way of the world these days. It is.
As much as like Joe, I've noticed this a lot lately too. Like the normal look of Joe is disgust, without a doubt. But I've noticed like you get abnormally shocked at like half the time unshocking things. Like she's got these like giant anime eyes, but like no matter what story we do, and it could honestly be like, and this chicken kind of crossed the street. And at some point, if Joe's reading it or listening to it, she just does this.
Oh my!
I'm like, it's not even that big of a deal, but like, she gets very shocked.
No, but Bill, that's because we know I am a bare minimum bitch. I don't read the stories ahead of
That's
time.
true. Yeah.
I find a headline I like,
Yes.
and then I go about explaining it to the people. And as I'm reading through the article, I discover what it's actually about. So you're just seeing my reactions in real time. And yeah, often it's shocking. Thank you, New York
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Yeah. You're
Nice.
right there with her. It's an adventure.
I wasn't going to bring this up animals, New York Post, and shocking. These pythons are eating deer, you guys. I have to show you.
Oh
I
man.
was going to
wow.
save this for a moment.
Just
It's about
zoom
time.
in. Just zoom in on Joe's face. That's
You're
all
gonna
you're gonna
die.
need. I've seen
You're
these
going
before,
to die. Burmese pythons.
In New York?
What? No, I don't think so. Invasive Burmese pythons can swallow whole deer,
Oh.
alligators,
Oh man. I love it.
alligators in one gulp. A wildlife issue of our time. Who cares about the election? These snakes are eating deer. For Christ's sake, look at them. Oh,
Range
God.
Rover, I'd like to swallow one of those.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Is that an endorsement of the Range Rover?
Range Rover.
Send me a car. Let's see if I can do it.
Scientists with the Conservancy of Southwest Florida, it's always Florida, recently came upon this 115.2 pound female python clamping down on the 77-pound white-tailed deer while gathering data for a new study published in the Journal of Reptiles and Amphibians. The snake stretched its jaw to fit around the deer's entire torso. Can you see this? I don't even know. It's hard to tell what you're even looking at. It unclamped its jaw, and the whole deer's just in its body.
Hmm.
You know what?
I was looking for
It's
eyed wide
also
reaction.
it's easy to find also photos of them being just as wide, maybe a little less so, and then split them open, and it's just a newly dead human. Yeah, I mean, like, and I usually assume that the person's usually already dead because they're pretty easy to get away from. I don't think they're that quick, but yeah, and they just cut them in half, and there's just a person.
A human in there.
There's just a person.
I'm not a fan of snakes. I don't understand when people are, but oh yeah, you're right. Look, they cut them in half, and there was a.
Oh man.
Can snakes choke?
I guess not.
Yeah, apparently not. They're just
Yeah,
floating by your throat.
I guess like their airway is different from their food way.
I guess you're right now that
Wait, can that be the title for the episode?
their airway is different from their food way.
I'm smart.
You are.
Mutual of Omaha, right here.
I literally had this visual of the Burmese pythons overrunning the subway in New York when you first started this conversation. I thought, where had they come from?
But by the way, I'm all for that. I mean, can you imagine the amount of rats that they consume in one day?
That would be true.
That would be amazing. I
Honestly,
definitely
yeah.
prefer them to rats.
And the rats are
great.
huge. This is how we fix New York. We take all the pythons in Florida and we put them here in New York. Then there's no rats. No rats equals happiness.
So many subway delays, though.
What's that?
So many subway delays. When you think about it, like those things are getting run over like 3 times a day.
Right,
They're
exactly.
Still dealing with our rat population, but
if Giuliani were still in, it would have been his way to maybe clean up the city. I don't know.
100%.
He's America's snake. Yeah.
America's snake.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize him once when I was Joanne. You've worked in food and bev before, as have I. I worked at this restaurant called Caravaggio. Shout out, great Italian place. George Stephanopoulos would come in all of the time with his family, and Justin Timberlake. I think Michelle Obama came in once. Lots of people like that. But Rudy Giuliani, just on a random night, I was a hostess, came in, and I'm not from New York. I'm from South Carolina. I don't recognize Rudy Giuliani. I'm like, this man looks like he sleeps in a coffin. He looks familiar, but I don't know.
There's a Nosferatu thing. Yeah.
He asked me, he's like, can I 2, please. It was like him and his nurse. And I went, we're very busy. I'm going to have to check. Like, I don't, like, why would you come in here without a reservation? I turned around. They're like, Keanu, that's fucking Rudy Giuliani. Could you put him wherever? I'm like, oh, Rudy, I was just kidding. Right this way. I had no idea who this man was. It was one of the most embarrassing things of my life.
Similarly, but less embarrassing. I worked at a restaurant on Park Avenue, and we would get I don't know why I'm protecting the name. It's Hillstone, which used to be a Houston's from that chain.
Right.
So they're known for their spinach dip. It's sort of like a rich person's Applebee's.
Yes.
The food is delicious, but we would get in a lot of celebrities and a lot of sports celebrities. Sports celebrities, do you hear me? Athletes, pro athletes.
A lot of those sports celebrity types.
And of course, I wouldn't know who any of them are. So me serving them was hysterical because I'm just chatting them up like they're any regular Joe Schmo.
That's what
Turns
they
out
like,
there was this NBA guy. I think he played for Miami at the time. And I'm just talking about where my favorite margarita is in New York City. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you can get these really cheap margaritas at Blockheads. It's like $3 to $5. And then later someone tells me, like you're talking to this like NBA guy. I was like, no idea. No clue.
It's best like that. They're expecting you to have some sort of awe to them. But
yes.
Joe was a Dwayne Wade.
I remember the name now. This was 10 plus years ago.
Because that's topical because he just got a statue outside of the Miami. I think it's crypto, and it's a very much an internet thing because it's one of those statues that looks absolutely nothing like the player that it's pretending to honor. They're comparing him to Thanos in the Avengers. Just there's something going on with the jaw. It looks like he got stung by a bee, but like in the video of Dwayne Wade looking at his statue of himself, you can see that he is just not pleased at all.
Is that what I look like?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's hilarious. And yeah, I was trying to be topical for your.
Similarly, too, I did bottle service. I don't know if you're familiar with the show Southern Charm and the spinoff.
Unfortunately,
called, yes, and the spinoff called Southern Hospitality. I used to work at Republic when I was in college.
I've been there.
Yes, I was a bottle girl, sparklers on champagne and the whole deal. And everybody was a buzz. They were saying Gronk was coming in. Gronk. I'm like, I don't know who that is. So whatever. I didn't pay attention in the meeting. I'm like, Gronk. I don't know what the hell that is. So I go up to the table and I go up to the table. I'm like, so what do you gentlemen do? They laughed in my face. Like, you silly, stupid girl. And then, they never even answer me. I'm like, okay, well, that's one way to treat people.
They probably thought you were kidding.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Well, hopefully. No, they laughed in my face and never said a word. I'm like, well, all right. No, celebrity. Do you encounter any celebrities in your line of work, Joanne, as an actress and podcaster? You guys have had famous people on many a time.
Yeah. We talked about this recently on our episode with S.E. Cup. Check that out.
I was listening to a bit of that. Very interesting.
She is a delight.
We were chatting about, right. It was because there was a recent article where Andy Cohen from Bravo was listing off the interviews he did that made him most nervous.
Ooh.
So we were sort of talking about ones we did with celebrities or people. And I revealed, or I've said this before, but I don't often get nervous just because I think it's due to my diluted amount of self-confidence.
I love that about you.
I love that.
Every celebrity as an equal. Like I am an award-winning actress, just other people don't know it yet. And I haven't won the awards yet. You know what I mean? Like we're all on the same playing field.
Confidence is the key element in life. I mean, confidence is key. It's perfect.
Can you just pause for a minute and think about how awful it must be to live with her? Like poor Douglas. Like, oh, Jesus.
Honestly,
but anyway, continue.
At least a few times a week, he will say, "Wow, you're very confident, aren't you?" Yes, I am.
That's the best way to be. It's the best way to be. Wow, you're very confident, are you? Well, also, and Dougie is an actor as well.
Yeah.
How is it 2 actors, too much confidence exuding from the walls in your home?
Honestly, yes. Our neighbors constantly complain about the high levels of confidence. They're like, "Could you please turn down your confidence?"
Like, are you guys practicing monologues for auditions?
Oh no, that's code for domestic violence as well.
Domestic
Yeah.
There's a lot of confidence.
She's trying to clean it up.
Call the police. They're being confident again. Mommy, I don't know if you knew this, but I was listening to your program, and I didn't know this about you when you guys were reintroducing yourselves to your audio audience. Is it true? It was Red Eye that you were working for, dearest Bill, and you went on vacation for a week. Joanne sat in and took your job forever. Is that
pretty much 99.9% correct? Yes.
Yeah.
No, I think people assumed I was on vacation, quote unquote, when indeed I might have been given something resembling walking papers. But we really embraced the whole Joanne completely took my job from me, like the malicious little sociopath that she is. Right down, like our intro, she stabs me in the back every time. Well, I'm just looking happy. What's going on, guys? Everything like that. And Joe just, ends up killing me. And we really, most people have no idea about the backstory, but we feed off of that to this.
Yeah. I wasn't told what was really occurring until months after I had this job.
It's very Fox.
I was told, because I had only met Bill once or twice before. I had been a guest on the show. And then I was told Bill was on vacation. So they wanted me to sit in as a guest for a full week, which ended up, I guess, sort of being my tryout. And then they asked me to join full time.
And for Bill to never come back again.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was a win-win-win-win.
Win-win-win-win. And then
America.
Once that show was over, then you were on the same network together, and now we're actually all 4 of us. We're on a new network together. Isn't that strange how life works? Right?
Yeah, it's like a circle, but a slightly different shape.
A slightly different shape. Yes. Oh my gosh.
At large, what's up?
At large.
When the first time I ever hung out with Joe, I knew of her, and I didn't like what I knew. Frankly, but the first time I hung out, I think I've told you this before. The first time you and I hung out socially, Tom O'Connor was our producer at Red Eye, and he was doing this fun it was holiday related, I think, but it was a bar crawl.
Yeah, it's usually around Halloween. So I don't know if he did one this year. We weren't invited.
I was gonna say, I guess we're not on the list anymore. But
a bar crawl, or were you just crawling from bar to bar by yourself, Bill?
I just randomly bumped into her.
Every day's a bar crawl.
Yeah, as she was shopping.
He was crawling under my legs.
It's my move. Everyone needs a move. You were dating the British guy.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. And I met you there. And I remember, and again, I think it goes back to her giant anime eyes. And boy, I could not have been more far off. But I remember thinking, this girl parties. This girl throws him down. Maybe illegally, legally. This is a party girl. And boy, did I not read that correctly at all. But you had these weird yeah, man, let's do some shots. Which is if you know even a little bit about Joe, she's the opposite of Gino, basically. But but I totally thought this is a little party girl.
Do you know what I think it is? And I don't know, Keanu, if you've ever experienced this. I always say I'm an extroverted introvert.
I say the exact same thing. Yes.
Yeah, I knew we were twin flames. And so sometimes when I'm in these social situations, I don't want to be. So I think I overcompensate.
Yes.
I light up
because I feel like if I don't, then I will be sitting here. Because even if I am in social situations, at my wedding, I was very concerned I wasn't going to have enough alone time. I'm like, will I have alone time outside to smoke cigarettes by myself?
That's very you.
Yes. I'm like, I mean, Mom, how long did I talk about it? I'm like, will I will I have a pocket for my cigarettes? Thankfully, we had a cigarette bowl.
I was about to tell. Oh, it was the best thing ever. Oh, it was amazing. What are the Camel Crushes? It was a Camel Crushes.
Camel Crushes. My father carried. He went and bought like 8 packs of cigarettes because
that was so cool.
We promised a cigarette bowl. I said we can't really have a cigarette bowl, and then Eugene said, "No, we have to." He doesn't even smoke. He's like, we've promised these people. I can't believe they let us get away with it. But for my alone time, normally, like if I'm about to go on stage or before a show, like Eugene will talk to anyone and everyone and get right on stage, never miss a beat. I need complete and total. I need 8 cigarettes. I need to be in a corner outside in a trench coat. So yes, I get the overcompensation. Once I'm ready to light up and pretend like I want to be here, then it's go time. Yes, I extroverted introvert 100%.
You guys really are a lot alike. Like I know my one gift to Joe, because I've got my ticket for one of her performances, and like I would like to like talk with her afterwards. But I know that that's the last thing she wants to do. So there's like, I'm just gonna go. Like I'm just gonna go to the thing and then be like, good job, and like just bolt. She does not want to hang out with me afterwards. And like, yeah.
It's not
that's my gift to her.
I don't want to see you, Bill. It's just that there will be tons of other people there too.
Yes.
So I encourage you to hang after with my friends who you've met before. And you can all chat about how great I was in the show while we're waiting for me to come out. And then I give you a hug. I say, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Selena.
And sign an autograph.
Yes, exactly. I will sign my autograph, which you will immediately sell. I know you. And we'll go about our day.
My gift to you is to have let you get all that out of the way right there. What you just did there.
Okay,
yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes.
And then I see, as if you were watching the corners of the screen, I see Michaelene and Bill as sort of twin flames. Michaelene and Bill never want a good time to end, ever. They're both from Chicago. They love the, I don't know if you're familiar with either of their drinking, but it's much like that. I'm just teasing.
I don't ever want a good time to end.
I was shocked at how little you partook in the cigarette bowl at the wedding, Bill, because they danced the entire time. They never left the dance floor.
We started drinking really early that day. I sobered up. Because of the day, I was sweating. By the way, I apologize.
Do not apologize.
I was Niagara Falls, but I completely sobered up on the dance floor.
Gross.
It was so yeah.
But then you got re-drunk.
Right? Oh, of course, yes,
of course.
Right. We were talking about it last week. Michaelene never wants a good time to end. She was the last person at the after parties of my nuptials. And then a nice the last one. She sent my poor godmother home. She said what was it? My godmother Denise was drinking water. She's like, you can just go.
Because she's on water now. She doesn't really, I think she was just trying to wait for me so I don't get in trouble. Like, I don't want anybody to.
She's like, I want to get in trouble.
I'm an adult. I can't get in trouble.
Thank you. Fair. That's the way I look at it.
Right.
I was an adult amongst kids. That's the way I feel about it. Yes.
But Keanu in her alone time, I mean, when I left her, she was walking down the street by herself in her wedding dress and her jean jacket.
I said, that's my alone.
She goes, I'm going back to the hotel. I need to have about 15 minutes by myself.
I can't
change
talk
and I'll
anymore.
come back out.
That's very hard.
It's true. I did. I walked back to the hotel in my jean jacket, in my wedding dress. I just couldn't speak to one more person.
Like the runaway bride, if you will. I mean, that's weird.
I know. Eugene, who I've since we're married, I call him Eugene.
I like it.
The after party bar, there was 3. He, like when he's on stage, he has people will bring him shot after shot after shot of whiskey. He doesn't miss a beat. He'll be up there for an hour. Mm-hmm. But when he gets off of stage, the adrenaline is gone and he pukes on my shoes. Like I mean, it's just he just shuts down almost, right? At the adrenaline of the wedding, he wasn't drunk the whole time. Then did I believe from what he said, he did 3 shots in succession and went outside of the after party bar and puked by a car. And then the bouncer would not let him back in. We stayed in for an hour while he just milled around outside shouting at the sky.
Aw. Gosh,
was
it's
so
nice to know
crazy.
that marriage won't change a man.
Well,
It certainly won't.
she knew what she was getting into. She knew what she was getting into.
Really, what more could you want from a husband than to puke on your shoes?
That was on the one.
I think that was in the vows, was it not?
It was in the vows.
Yeah.
I vow to always continue to puke on her shoes. Hang on 1 second. Joanne, you are semi-recently married.
Yeah.
I did love about so you did like, and I saw you looked so beautiful in the pictures. You did a small wedding, very like a cocktail hour. Like we just don't need this whole well, I mean, explain to me how you did it because I envied it.
Well, sure. So technically, it will be 2 years married next month. We did a very small wedding at a restaurant in New York City with just our parents and siblings.
Yes.
And then 6 months later, we did a slightly bigger party, which was just a 4-hour cocktail hour at a sort of speakeasy vibe type bar. But it was like the first floor of a brownstone. So there were like 5 separate rooms with 3 different bars, 1 room for dancing. There was an outdoor space. And it was just like past hors d'oeuvres, open bar. And then right in the last hour of the party, we brought in Shake Shack. And so it was just a way for people to mill around. And that was actually like an idea I had for a wedding. Never really had dreams of getting married.
Me neither.
For me, it was always like dreams of a red carpet and, you know, being at a movie premiere or whatever.
Now you can have both.
Exactly. Well, now that I'm a grown woman, I know that. But I just love this idea of just like hosting a party and not being on stage, which I feel like is what a lot of weddings are, right? The ceremony, the pomp and circumstance. My husband and I didn't really care about that so much. So we just wanted the party and we wanted to dance and have a good time. And so we did. My only thing would be, and Keanu, let me know if you agree, it went by too fast. Like it's just too fast.
Mine, I felt, everyone says that. I'm like, this is going by slowly.
Oh my God.
I did not feel it went by too fast. I was looking at my, phone. I'm like, I have 2 more hours of this.
That's incredible.
I'm having the best time, but everybody, bangs it into your head. Enjoy it. But I'm like, all right, this is going by pretty slow. Maybe it's the lack of alone time.
Yeah.
Like, if I had, but it was truly the best night of my life. But yes, the pomp and circumstance. I said to Gino, like, let's just go to Mexico and, he's like, no, we're having a wedding. And then I'm like, we had a wedding and they were cheering for him when he walked down the aisle. They never stopped cheering. I said the F word during the vows. I never stopped. We never stopped chatting. It was the most it was very Eugene and Keanu of a wedding. I always think about this. It just speaks to your personality, Joanne. Eugene told me you were like, Joanne, we were to invite you to our, and just you stopped him. She said, don't even bother. I won't come. Don't waste the invite. I will not be there.
Yeah. And it's nothing against y'all, but
no, of course. You're like,
I was honestly surprised Joe showed up at her own wedding. We had bets that it was going to be a no-show. But because she had to watch her stories, and
I understand that she likes the alone time. Extroverted introverts.
Yes,
it's very true. It's very true. Another thing I was going to ask, Michaelene and Bill, best things about growing up in Chicago, and where did you both grow up, and were they near to each other?
Bill,
Michaeline, I grew up where our claim to fame is where the Bears are located, where they practice, Lake Forest.
Okay, so that's where you grew up. I grew up in Elmwood Park. Do you know Elmwood Park?
My grandmother lived there, or if not there, like 5 minutes from there. So
Yeah.
I know that well. Yeah.
So Lake Forest, I'm going to say it's north. I can't remember exactly.
It's like 25, 30 minutes north of Chicago,
Okay.
and unfortunately relatively close to Wisconsin.
So
Yeah.
Elmwood Park is like a northwest suburb, but we were like a block out of the city, not downtown, of course, but half the kids in my grade school were from Chicago and the other half were from Elmwood Park. So we were right on the dividing line. And it was just a really cool Italian suburb. Some Irish, some Polish, but it was mainly Italians. Yeah.
Do you remember? I love that we're completely cutting out Joe and your daughter right now. Do you?
We're having alone time.
Totally.
Joe, the Polish thing is so huge. I was I was raised to believe that this was a fact. I don't know if it is true, but they said that for a while there were more off the boat Polish people in Chicago than Warsaw. I don't know if that's still the case.
I could believe that. I could believe that.
Southside? Oh my God. Yeah.
I could believe that. But I honestly loved Elmwood Park and loved living there. And
it's beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful.
It was the best. Really. I still
think nothing. That. And then fireworks brought us down to South Carolina. But I do not claim Chicago, but I would imagine you could never go back because of the gray weather. That's what Michaelene always said.
Well, yeah, I would always like to go back, and I would love to live downtown sometime because that's pretty fun. But I'm
a wuss now, Michaeline. Like I can't I can't deal with the winters over there anymore.
No,
the New York winters are so mild. We've had snow on the ground twice in the last 2 years. It's insane over here, and
Chicago's brutal.
By the way, talk amongst yourselves. I got to show you guys something. I'll be right back.
Oh, I'm excited.
Oh, no. It's going to be a tchotchke from someplace in Chicago. He saved it from when he was 8 years old. Look at this pristine condition.
I love that you say tchotchke.
A tchotchke.
It's such a great word.
It's like a Hummel figurine.
Okay. The first thing you're not going to care about that much, but piece of old Comiskey Park. This is one of the fireworks from the second to last game.
Oh my
at old Comiskey Park. This has got your DNA.
Something that fell down onto the ground.
Yeah, it hit my head.
Oh my God.
That's
the fire. They would always you could get the fans. It would fall on the fans if you were in the bleachers. And I'm like, this is a cool, weird souvenir to have.
Especially since you love the ball game so much, and
it's part of the border, Mom. Look at that! I hope you told my uncle and/or father that.
Yeah,
it's actually really smart of the people in the stadium because they then just have people who've come paid to be there cleaning up for them.
Yeah.
Can I take this? Can I take this? And they're like, yeah.
Pieces of the mortars will be worth something one day. So take as many as you can.
Really. It's amazing what Sox fans will take home with them. Stuff like this. And then the stuff that they'll just dispense with. Like we had seat cushion night one time. And I think I was the only one that kept mine because, I'm a little hoarder. But the ump made a bad call, and it was like a snowstorm in July. You saw one seat cushion sort of fly into the field, and then in slow motion, every single person from freeze to and I've never seen it. Was an amazing thing to watch, but the whole time I'm like holding mine, hoping no one sees that I'm a spoil sport. But yeah, every single person threw theirs onto the field, and it was quite a sight.
They told you to take the seat cushions with you. Is that what it was?
You're supposed to bring them home. It was seat cushion night. Like that was the thing that they were giving away. Yeah, I kept mine, but everyone else, and I'll just went on the field, and then the poor groundskeepers took like.
What an odd gimmick. Interesting.
There's a reason we don't have bat night anymore. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, what happened at bat night?
Lots of injuries.
Oh my God.
They told you to bring your own bats, or like, what do you mean?
No, they would give away they used to give away actual size bats. I mean, like maybe for like Little League. Now they'll give away tiny little bats, I guess. But like, yeah, they were like bad bats. They were weapons. They were physical weapons in the South Side of Chicago.
And people get drunk and get rowdy.
Yeah, no, it was a bad combination.
Speaking of baseball,
Yeah.
you guys, I did a great TikTok
Who?
that is about 5 seconds long, but it has over 22,000 views.
Can you email it to me? We
Yeah.
can watch it.
Talk about burying the lead.
I don't know how to send it right now, but
Oh.
basically it's because I was watching the World Series and they said left field. And so I, as a theater kid, was like, okay, is left field house left or stage left?
Yes.
And I posted that, and who knew there was such a cross sort of population of people, cross section, who both know theater and baseball. I have so many people commenting, trying to tell me where, like, left field in relation to where you're standing.
Like,
They're like, okay, but
upfield or downfield?
is the catcher technically on the field, or are they part of the audience? And then it's like, is it theater in the round? Depends on where you're sitting. Like, all of this stuff, it is incredible. Also, the number of people who, like me, don't know.
Yeah, it's true. Theater in the diamond, I guess it would be.
Yeah. Ooh, nice. That would be a
Yes.
great name for a
Very
baseball podcast,
good.
actually.
Theater in the diamond.
I
It
like
is
that
sort of like
lot.
a show. What I've learned about baseball, it's, it's very the things like gimmicks, the fireworks, right? So I mean, they go hand in hand. So people who like a spectacle may like theater or baseball. Right?
Well, as I'm sure Eugene has
theater girl
taught
watching
you.
the World Series.
yeah.
Can someone tell me,
Ooh.
when they say left field, do they mean stage left or house left? 'Cause I don't know.
That's it, y'all. That's
That's
it.
it?
Did
And that
people
got 20
answer you? Did people answer you on that?
They
TikTok?
do.
Yes. So many people, a lot of right answers and some very wrong answers.
And
Yeah,
that has 22,000 views. Isn't TikTok so interesting?
Hey, I think it's because I like hashtagged World Series, and so everyone's, looking at that. Yeah, but Bill, what were you saying about? I can't
I
remember.
forget, but I do. I just now remembered that. Didn't you get hit on by a Yankee, I believe, pitcher
Yeah.
in real time during the game?
Yeah. Well, right before the game.
Wow.
Were you
was-
like, who are you again?
So basically,
Oh, yeah.
it was a very long joke, kind of prank joke between me and Andy Levy, who was the other Red Eye co-host.
Mm-hmm.
We would drop these little joke nuggets during broadcast that I was dating a Yankee.
Cheater.
Because fans on Twitter would then love to like pick up on these things, guess who I might be dating, whatever. So I made a joke about it. And to commit to the joke, I started following one of the new Yankees on Twitter. He was like a third string pitcher or catcher, one of
That's
those.
right.
And he then followed me back and started messaging me.
Oh my God.
And then one day I was going to the game. I think I posted on Twitter I was going to the game again to get the fans' minds turning. And he was like, "Oh, you're at the game?" And I was like, "Yeah, maybe I'll see you play." And he's like, "Actually, I'm not playing today." And I'm like, "Well, that's because you're third string." But I was like, this is now
Brutally
going
honest.
too far. He was a nice guy too. He was in his like young 20s and he had, like a Bible verse in his Twitter bio or,
Oh,
John 6:19 or whatever.
Yeah.
So I knew I had to put an end to it because I was just going to crush a man's heart.
You're just like Carrie Bradshaw.
I was going to say this is the modern version
with the new Yankee.
The new
Yeah.
Yankee, and then Bill
And
is
she
Miranda,
crushed
and
his
you are
heart.
Carrie, and Bill is so jealous that the new Yankee has hit on you, but it was all
Bill is
on
so Miranda.
yes, you're just like Miranda and more cynical, and short hair, and you're a lesbian, and
Yes.
then the new Yankee hits on Joanne. And she doesn't care about baseball. That
Mhm.
is that is absolutely Absolutely.
Really,
so
Sex in the
sexy.
City has something for everyone.
Truly.
A lesson in life. I love it.
really does.
It really does.
Whenever people ask me which Sex of the City character I am, I always say Mario Cantone.
I love that.
Yeah,
I think
Anthony.
that's that's my guy right there. Or maybe the bald guy. I don't know. I go back and forth.
Yeah, Anthony or what's the bald guy's name? Keanu.
Oh, Stanford.
Stanford Blatch.
Mario,
Very good.
How's this for an image? I interviewed Dennis Leary one time, and we both went to Emerson College. And Dennis Leary's roommate freshman year was Mario Cantone.
Really?
And
Oh my gosh.
can you picture that? And like Mario Cantone, he grew up in the north end of Boston, very Italian, very much a little bit like where you grew up. And his family is like, old school Italian, all that stuff. And they were sort of in denial about who Mario really was. And Dennis Leary was like, ended up being good friends with him. But like in the bar that they owned, there was a picture of Mario in a dress, like for something he was performing, like some one-man show or something like that. They're like, look at Mario. Like he's he's so creative. That's the thing about Mario. He's wearing the dress because he's so creative. And Dennis is like, yeah, I'm creative too, but I don't suck guys' dicks. And they're like, hey,
I haven't heard anything about.
He doesn't do that. Like I think they didn't know yet.
I haven't heard anything about Dennis Leary in a long time. Where is he?
It's a good question. I have no idea. Yeah. He had that firefighter show on for a long time, and then I kind of lost.
Yeah.
But yeah, they lived together freshman year.
Yeah.
Talk about odd couple, but I think he actually outed Mario Cantone to his family.
Oh,
Nobody should do that. They need to tell them themselves.
Well, we're coming to the 50-minute mark, and so I believe we're going to wrap it up here. But we would love to come by your program sometime.
Anytime.
Crossover
Yes,
network,
done.
moment, and you guys are just the best. I've loved knowing you for the past, I don't know how many years I've known you both, but you guys always make me
It's been
laugh.
a long time.
I'm glad to get to know you. You guys are really cute. Very lovely.
thanks.
You guys are cuter.
You're
Yeah, again, you can for all of our new, thanks to you, Keanu, followers, subscribers, check us out on YouTube at Mornin with Bill and Joanne. Social medias at Mornin Bill and Joe. Listen to us, thanks to AdLarge, on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. Give us a like, a download, all the things.
All of the things.
I have an update, you guys.
Yes.
Eric Nagel, our beloved benefactor for both of our Dog and Pony shows, has given us a Dennis Leary update. He has a Comics Come Home comedy charity for the Cam Neely Foundation, a famous Bruin, don't you know, in Boston, and that's coming up. So you can check out Dennis Leary. Why am I plugging Dennis Leary?
I don't know.
I blame you.
Just because I just wonder. I haven't seen anything of him in a million years, really.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes, follow, subscribe. Thank you, AdLarge. Everything Joanne said, but for Keanucast, and then this will be on both of our respective channels. You can watch it in either place. This has been Keanucast and the takeover from Mornin with Bill and Joe. We are glad you heard us and felt us, and we're very glad if you watch on YouTube that you saw us. You guys are the Eels Hips, the Cat's Pajamas, and the Bee's Knees. Kiki, Mickey, Joe, and Bill out. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Take care. That was